Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of us from all around the world. And this is Pam. I am very happy to be here with all of you as your inner peace moderator. So warmly welcome everyone to my story Monday meditation class. So we have our friend from all around the world today. So glad to be here with all of us once again. And as our program normally will start with some of meditation talk from our teaching monk, and then we will have guided meditation. And before ending the program, we will have Q&A session. So you can ask questions, sharing your meditation experiences, or any doubt that you would like to share, or asking our teaching monk. And today I am very honored and happy to have Monk Pasura here with us. So I believe everyone are ready, right? So without further ado, may I please invite everyone pay respect to Monk Pasura by bowing 3 times together. First bow, second bow, and third bow. Welcome, Monk Pasura.
Oh, thank you, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon for everybody around the different corners of the planet. So welcome to another sessions of the My Stories, which we're going to spend some time to cultivate inner peace through the practice of meditation together. So during the time we are waiting for more participants logging in, I would like to refresh some of the method of practice that could be very important. Usually, when it comes to the practice meditation, you probably have heard so many methods, whether that be observation of your breathing, visualization of objects, observation of peace, observation of space, repeating mantras. On top of my head, there are a lot more of methods of meditation. But every single method of meditation, they serve as transportation that will transport your mind to the final destination, which is inner peace. So think of this transportation like a car that requires 2 wheels to move forward. First wheel is consciousness, and the other wheel is comfort. If you want the transportation to move forward, both wheels need to roll together simultaneously in order to reach destination. But if you only have one wheel, it will keep spinning in circle, right? So if you are too conscious, I mean, you force your consciousness, it will be very tense, which means you're not going to get that feeling of peace or calmness. Or if you comfort is just only so strong, that means it's going to be a very, very good siesta. So that's what's going on. As a result, balance is really the key. How can you always feeling very conscious while very comfortable at the same time? And the most important way, the easiest way to be like that would be to remind yourself that you are an audience, not an actor. We have distraction. That's the nature of human mind. If you'll be sitting right there with your eyes open and still full of thoughts, there is nothing magical, just simply sit down with the eye closed and the mind will stop thinking and being distracted. That's a reality. So human mind always being distracted and wandering. So that is the nature. But we love to engage with every single thoughts or distraction that come across to our mind. Therefore, each time that happens, keep reminding yourself that you are an observer, you are an audience. Think of it like you enter a cinema. Your task is to find the most comfortable seat to sit back, relax, watch the film. You are not an actor, you're not a director, you're not a producer. So your job is simply to stay put as comfortable as you can, watch the movie until it goes to the end. But of course, from time to time, we got distracted. We jump into the screen and try to act, meet any other characters, rolling to different scenes, starting to comment on the films that we act on, even producing more movies. So that's when we engaging with thoughts. Anytime you realize you begin to engage with thoughts, return to your seat where you can sit back, relax, and start the whole process again. Meditation method is the transportation that will carry your mind back to the beginning, to where you can sit back and relax. Eventually, if you no longer engage with the film, it will come to the end. The more we engage, the more we interact with the film, the longer it takes for the film to finish. That's actually how simple meditation can be. And that's why every single time the guided meditation always starts with the relaxation of your body, take your time to get adjusted with a comfortable sitting posture. That because it helps the mind to slow down, help reminding ourselves to step back and be an audience rather than engaging with every single thought or distraction that comes by. We do that by nature. If you have learned the teaching of the Buddha, so-called the Noble Eightfold Path, which is basically the eight set that of practice to reach enlightenment. The last two are the right mindfulness and the right concentration, which is actually the crucial point. Just think of it for a second. If the Buddha mentioned something called right mindfulness and right concentration, would that mean they are wrong mindfulness and wrong concentration as well? Good thing to think about, a little bit brain teaser, right? So there must be, if there's something right, there must be something wrong. But of course, it didn't really mention what it means by wrong. The point is that we know how to force our attention, that we have been using that throughout our life when we study, when we go to work, when we have the meeting, when we engage in activities, we force our attention the whole time. Even we don't want to be there, but we force our attention to understand, to know everything. And we use exactly the same approach towards meditation practice. And that's why sometimes when you meditate alone by yourself, after 15, 20 minutes, instead of feeling calm, feeling at peace, you feel restless, you feel agitated, you feel frustrated that you want to stop, but you feel like you kind of have to push everything down the whole time in order to stay put. So that's what it's like when we force attention. As long as you keep turning back to being an audience and watch it without pushing it down, but gently recognize or notice what's going on while remain where you are at ease and content, you will notice that everything begin to feel lighter, more spacious. Everything feel more at ease, and inner peace and calmness that you're looking for will come by naturally. It may take a little bit of a time, and that's why the first part seems to be a little bit slow, and many times we want to rush through the process to the very end. So remind yourself that in meditation practice, we are not producer, we are an audience. Keep taking a step back, take a long, soft, and deep breath to sit back, relax, and watch everything how it happens. And eventually, before you know it, the feeling of peace will just come right back at you. That's how simple it is. That's how I want to keep reminding everybody each time to practice meditation. Take it slow. You have all the time you need to get to that point. There is no need to push to rush for it. So take as long as you like. So without any further ado, that I have already explained, a lot of people have logged in already. We got 85, which is a very good number. So let's start our meditation. But before begin with that, slowly stretch your body first. Stretch your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your legs. Get yourself really very comfortable. Loosen up your muscles. Right. Now that you're feeling comfortable with your muscle, before closing your eyes, take a moment to slowly adjust your sitting posture. No need to rush into closing the eyes right away. You may take a moment to adjust the way you're sitting at your seat, whether you choose to be on the chair or sitting on the floor. Allow yourself to feel settled at your seat. Please take your time to adjust. You may turn your attention down to feel the floor underneath your feet or your body. Adjust the way you place your legs. Observe that the blood can circulate very comfortably throughout your legs, feeling the relaxation from your calves to your knees, up to your thighs. Once your legs are comfortable, you may turn your attention to feel your hands rest with your palms upward on your lap. Adjust your hands so that you don't notice any tension around the elbows or the shoulders. Adjust your back to be upright so that you can allow the entire body's weight towards your seat. Be in the posture that you don't have to resist or use any force to hold your body in that posture. The best one is when you can completely release and let the gravity hold your body in place. And that means every single muscle should be relaxed. So let's reinforce those relaxation a bit more. Starting with your eyes, feeling them close very comfortably without feeling tension at the corners of your eyes or the eyeballs. Let relaxation fill from the top of your head down to your forehead. Relax down to your temples, nose, cheeks. Allow relaxation to reach the back of your head, down to your neck and shoulders, your arms, your hands, your body down to your legs, feet, all the way to your toes. Let relaxation fill every cell in your entire body. We shall start each session with the feeling that we're just taking a break on a holiday, on a vacation, and we don't have to be anywhere, not to do anything. We are free to rest by ourselves. So start with that mindset each time you sit down to meditate. And that's when we let relaxation fill every part from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes. You may then take a long, soft, and deep breath in, feeling the air passing your nostrils down to the end of your breath as it turns in the middle of the abdomen. Feeling your warm out breath coming all the way out. Inhale very gently. Feel every particle of the air reaching down. Exhale. Allow all worries or any other concerns that you may have be relieved along with your breath. So let yourself breathe in and down gently and softly for a while. Each time it goes in, let it reach the middle part of your body. Each time you are breathing out, allow your mind to be relieved from all matters, no matter what they are about. Allow your mind to be relieved for the moment. As your body and mind are getting comfortable, you may notice your body sensation or the feeling of your space and whereabouts. So you may picture yourself sitting alone in an empty and open space, someplace away from everything, away from people and all hectic matters, where you can truly rest on your own, where you are at peace with yourself in silence. You can even picture yourself in a beautiful scenery, like being on the beach, where you can gaze upon the horizon on a warm sunny day with the bright sunlight showering down on your body, or any other places that you like to spend a peaceful vacation by yourself, away from any demands or requests, where you can unburden your mind from any duties, responsibilities, or anything else that may have been pushing down. In that space where you are, take a long, soft and deep breath to free up your mind. Where let your entire body be so comfortable. From time to time, you may be distracted by your own thoughts or the surroundings. Each time that happens, turn yourself back here, back to where you are at ease, with a reminder that you are an audience. If you keep coming back, the level of consciousness will be accumulated when it's solid and firm. Your mind reaches the stillness naturally. We shall not reject or push away any distractions or thoughts, because that means we apply thoughts towards them. No, we shall not follow those thoughts or distraction, because that means we end up interact or engage with them. We stay right here at our space, where we are at ease. Allow everything to keep passing by. Sometimes we notice them, and sometimes we don't. Nonetheless, as long as you are conscious of yourself right here, conscious of yourself, your body relaxation, your contentment, your space, or even your distraction, you are still right here, taking rest as an audience. We don't have to force our mind quiet, because it will not be still at by default, like a flame. If we don't put more fuel, the fire will be put out. That's how we deal with all distractions. We stop interacting or engaging, and it will slow down. And you find yourself becoming one with peace and your surroundings. So feel your open space. Take a long, soft, and deep breath as you notice that center space where your breath ends. Turn your attention back inside and lay it down to where your mind finds home deep within yourself. Place your attention softly, as if your mind take a dip into the ocean of peace, where every touch is gentle. Let your mind immerse into that basin of cloudness. When it's there at your center space, everything feels lighter expanding and more spacious. As here everything's so calm and empty. Even your entire body slowly assimilate with your open space, with the calmness, all the weight, the burdens that press down your mind are gone. You notice how everything turns lighter, weightless, because that is the nature of our mind. When it does not hold on to any external matters, it is free, is full of peace and loving kindness. When the mind holds on to external matters or what's out there, it is stir up negative feelings and emotions. Everything narrowed down, complex, tight, and heavy. The feeling of peace is not only to be calm, it also comes with contentment, lightness, softness, and spaciousness. And to reach them, you may take all the time you need. It is little step to be comfortable with your body at ease, with your mind set free, and you turn your attention down at the center space, feeling like your mind is at its home after a long journey. And now it doesn't like to be anywhere else, nor to do anything, but rather be still with ease. So keep your attention here with that center space. Allow your entire body sensation to assimilate, to integrate with your surrounding, be like the air that's so light and free. Your mind likewise is settling sound, where everything is so calm. The silence in your mind is unlike the silence out there. When the mind is silent, everything feels full, complete, and content. Every touch is gentle in the physical world. Silence comes by feeling isolated, empty, and warm. It doesn't feel warm and cozy. So anytime you notice that feeling warm and cozy, it comes within the silence. As when the mind stands still, and even though you may be distracted from time to time, you are able to keep coming back and be with that inner stillness. So keep the mind at your center space. Allow everything to settle still deep within. You may observe this kindness for as long as you like, or you may visualize a bright, shining sun to represent your mind staying still. Feel the presence of the sun at your center space. And somehow you feel at ease. Keep it there. With the sun warm and bright, it may not be as sharp or clear like seeing with the eyes, but your consciousness is in touch with this cozy feeling that comes from the sun. So let the mind stay still with the warm, bright, shining sun, feeling like taking rest deeply and gently with your mind set free from all obligations. With your mind steady, calm, and comfortable. The sun is bright, the mind stands still. in the deep silence of peace. Deep inside your central space, you may gently place your attention on the midline of that peace and let that peace energy expand. It grows like the sun is getting larger and expanding until the radiation of this peace energy fill, cover yourself, your surroundings, as if you are right in the middle of that peace energy. As you touch upon the middle point, it keeps expanding further throughout your space, your neighborhood, the whole city, beyond the horizon, borders and boundaries. It keeps expanding while your mind is gently be still at the center point of this peace, wherever it goes, broadcast your positive intent that may all creatures and beings refrain from hurting one another. May everyone is free of pain, free of misery and sadness, only with its loving kindness, which is the wish for everyone to live happily, joyfully, without trouble. Expand, reach out to every heart, mind, and soul. Plant the seed of kindness in everyone's heart so they blossom into the beauty of kindness. Expand, radiate, and share to everyone, regardless of their race, religion, or creeds. Everyone on this planet long for happiness and despise suffering, and they all share the same nature of life as we all. So we broadcast our good wishes, our goodwill to everyone on the line, and reach out to your loved one, families, relatives, or friends, wherever they are. Embrace them with your peace energy, spreading like the sun, reaching out to all of your loved ones, May they always be happy and joyful, no matter where they are. Turn it back to yourself. Let this peace fill your entire self, from top to toes. Slowly bring your attention back to feel your feet, your hands, feel your entire body here at your seat until you can slowly take a long, soft, and deep breath in. And now breathe very softly and gently all the way down. Exhale gently. Breathe in down to the deepest end and breathe out. And now that you are more comfortable with your body, you may slowly stretch your neck, shoulders, your arms, your hands. And when you are comfortable, ready, you may slowly open your eyes and stretch a bit more. That is the conclusion of the meditation part. You gonna take the photo?
Yes, please. Thank you, Venerable. So I would like to invite everyone, open your cameras and sharing your bright smiling with each other. Let's smile. Cheers. Happy. Smile. Happy. All right. Thank you so much. I believe the photo already taken. And next session is going to be the Q&A. If you would like to ask question or sharing your meditation experiences, feel free to type down in the chat box. And may I transition back to Monk Pasura, please.
All right. So any questions are welcomed, and I hope that you had a peaceful moment with the meditation practice. And I don't know if any of you follow what I have told you at the beginning about how to keep turning yourself back to being an audience and instead of being actor with your thoughts or distraction that you usually have. And that helps you to settle down and help your mind to come to this sense of calm and stillness easier. So you may also explain that into the chat box as well if you like, so that you can also notice that is easier or is harder to get there, and what are challenges that you have with your meditation practice. So the question is welcome. So while we're waiting for more for questions, I do have something to share with you a little bit while we're waiting. So there is actually one teachings that is very simple actually. In Buddhism is called Infallible Path, which means in very short terms, it can just explain that the practice that can't go wrong, which actually means that if you keep up with these just simple three pillars, and whatever you do and you carry this pillar with you, it will lead you to the correct path. This path, you'll not fall into any destructive side of your life, or it always, bring you some benefits. And that is actually the meaning of infallible path. So it's actually a very simple practice, and it doesn't require any investment at all. It's risk-free, and it actually helps our growth to be more developed, and eventually leads to what we are talking about as the concept of meditation. Why are you practicing meditation? Why are you practicing mindfulness? So that you can use it in your daily life, so you can use it to enhance the fullest lifestyle, right? So that's actually what it is. So the pillar number one is so-called sense restraint. Usually, we are going out in the world, we are being bombarded with everything: sight, sound, smell, taste, physical touch, mental feeling. And then we are stimulated, these stimuli trigger our feelings, our emotions all the time. So when we are not restraining, and we are not, in other words, not mindful of what we look at or what we listen, it can easily trigger our negative emotions. For example, look at yourself when you get upset. Why do you get upset? Are you just sitting still doing nothing and getting upset? Or you're getting upset during meditation? Not really, right? It's usually when someone says something to you, when you see certain kind of incident, when you engage in certain kind of conversation. So those circumstances make you upset, or make you sad, or make you stress out. So if we are not mindful of what is in contact with our senses, our feelings and emotion, we're just being influenced by what is out there, by this stimuli. And that's why we practice mindfulness and meditation, because we are able to, number one, know how we feel at the moment. Two, realize what is in contact with this and stimulate and trigger these negative feelings. Three, be able to handle and deal with them, or in the other words, throw them away. That's why the first one, be mindful of what you look at, be mindful of what you're listening to, be mindful of who you're in contact with in the world out there. And it will save you a lot of pain from negative emotions and feeling. That's the first pillar. The second pillar is called moderation in consumption. We, as a human being, and this is a harsh truth, we have to consume. We have to consume from the first day until the final day of our life. From the moment you're born, you have to breathe. Without breathing, you die. Every single moment, we have to keep consuming something, right? Otherwise, we can't sustain our life. And that's a reality. However, if we are moderate, if we are able to be mindful in what we are consuming, it doesn't just mean food, but everything that we purchase, everything that we use in our life. If we are able to be mindful about what we are using, it helps us to not overspending it. So we are able to use these limited resources that we have for greater goods. But if we let our desire, the pleasures of the taste, the pleasures of consumption, let our decisions, it will end up overspending, and we are being consumed by all those things that we are having in life, and that's actually what's going on. That's why the second one is moderation in consumption can be very, very helpful. So understand the difference between need and want. As long as you realize that for yourself, that is what it means by living in moderation. And the last one is called the practice of wakefulness. In other words, be vigilant and alert. So every single day, life means something, right? There are big difference between staying alive and just trying to stay alive. And this actually what's going on. And people spend a great deal of time trying to stay alive, and they're pretty much very dull going through schedules. You get up, get dressed, you go to work, you come back home, and we keep rolling down in these kind of activities, and that's what's going on. So when we're going down into these, schedules, it started to get dull, get inert at a certain point because we don't really find our meaning. So keep reminding ourselves what we are doing, what is the meaning, what is the purpose, how important everything that we do is create this to be more wakeful. And this feeling more energetic and wakeful give us more willpower to do something. And success comes when willpower is there, right? So these three pillars, sense restraint, moderation, consumption, wakefulness, are infallible path, which means it helps you to keep on track and you're not going straight. So this is something I'd like to share with you just for a bit so that you can take it with you and enhance the practice of mindfulness in your days and in your life. So there was a meditation, relaxing, maintain concentration using mantra method is good, mindful. So you mentioned more about your meditation practice. At ease, a bit distracted by the noise in the background, was able to use mantra, Akuna Matata, cool. It's very cool. So another things about the noises. So we can control our environment how we want to be. We can control how our mind should react with them. That's the difference. So anytime you notice that noise is the sound, it depends on you whether you choose to have a fight with those noise or you just watch those noise and I noticed that and keep coming back to where you start. And eventually, before you know it, the noise seems to fade out. So that's actually very good thing that you keep coming back to your Akuna Matata. So that's help you to stay focused on this. Very good. Keep coming back to that very gently. The key is to be very gentle with it. Okay. So, and any other questions? Okay. The question is, why do I always feel like there is a light shining bright in me when I meditate for a long time? Oh, very good. So, our mind, believe it or not, originally is bright. Human mind is bright by its nature, but because it's contaminated by our craving, by anger, by delusions, the quality of mind reduces. So whenever your mind comes to stillness, that brightness of your mind turn, and that's why some of you may experience seeing different types of light, different colors from different angles, even inside yourself, which brings you feeling calm and blissfulness, right, at the same time. The reason because your mind returned to its original state, which is a good thing, which means your mind is able to remove layers of contaminations that distorted your quality of the mind. So congratulations is a good thing. So whenever you start to see that light, you don't need to try to access it, watch it, and eventually the light will be part of you and you become the light. And that's what it means to have the light of peace as your guide inside of you. Very good. So Christine said very peaceful. So very good. So most of everyone saying very peaceful sessions, which made me very happy. Remember, the key is about to be an audience, not an actor. Any other questions do you have in mind? So if not, remember three things that I have shared with you today. Sense restraint, or be mindful of your sense, moderation in consumption, and wakefulness. Three things that will keep you on wherever you set your mind into. I know that everything is not easy. And you probably think that, oh, you're a monk, you know how tough your life will be, of course. I understand. Before I was a monk, I used to work, I used to study before. So I know what it's like to be out there, face reality. Things not easy. You not always get what you want. And that's how the world is. It's tough. But at the same time, it also requires us to have this determination and clear goal to reach. And every single day, life is just to pursue the goal while being stressed out, but it's also about finding the spot of peace and happiness along the way, because it's not just to walk on this path, it's a marathon. When you run the marathon, it's 42 kilometers away. So it doesn't mean that you have to push yourself throughout the 42 kilometer because you're going to overexert yourself at one point and collapse, right? But if you are able to keep track, keep pace at your comfortable pace, but still determined to reach the goal, so that is about being content and being able to stay happy and peaceful throughout every single step you reach there. So these three pillars will help you to stay on that track. And that's why I'd like to give it to you. So one question from Stephen, how can one clear his or her mind from financial stress? Which is exactly why I bring you up with this one. I know that financial stress is there. There are two types of poor person though. Poor because I don't have and poor because I don't have enough. So at the end of the day, I know finance, making money is still part of life because we have to consume. That's the harsh truth. At the same time, we also need to also understand how much we should spend on it too. So work hard is a must. But at the same time, going back to what can be done with the necessities, how we can utilize the best. And that may not completely relieve your financial stress, but at the same time, it allows you to be more managing on your life. To be very honest, when we look at others people, and we always triggered by desire to be like this and like that, and we wish we have more, and we always stress out that we're not going to make it enough. But to be honest, if you look back to yourself and try to look at the concept, how much is enough for you? What is sufficient every single day? How much do I really need? How many meals do I really need? How many clothing do I really need? So when you begin to kind of tone it down, it reduces that stress. So it come back to whether you look at yourself or looking out there. So when you started to focus on that moderation and consumption as a practice, it may help you to release some of the stress of the finance that you have to keep up with everything. Of course, it's going to have to be working and everything. Doesn't mean that, something's going to fall down from the sky. It's not as simple as that. But if we cannot increase the income, control the output or expenditure will be the way. And that's why moderation and consumption is crucial. And to do that, begin with looking at yourself and understand yourself. So I hope that helps. All right. So is there another questions? Okay, I got the questions already. Good. Seems like no further questions, I guess. All right. So thank you very much for today. I hope you had a good time with my story. And for today, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mang Pasura, for such a wonderful session and has spending your valuable time guiding and sharing your knowledge with all of us. And I believe everyone had a really wonderful time as you has shared your meditation experience in the chat box. It's really wonderful. It's really encourage each other to practice more and more. So in order to wrap up the session, may I ask everyone pay respect to Mang Pasura by bowing 3 times. Let's bow, second bow, and third bow.
So may the power of your inner peace always bring you that light inside of you to always be your guide, show you the way, show you the path that leads you to the everlasting happiness.
Thank you so much for your wonderful blessing. And thank you so much, everyone. Looking forward to see each other on this Saturday. For now, have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye-bye. See you.